All this extreme festival of motorsport action is proudly brought to you by LiquiMoly and Posi Drive. We head to Dalmas and the oozing metropolis. Just outside of Dalmas, we get Red Star Raceway. It is an incredible start to the Extreme Festival season. Round 1 makes its way out here. We're looking forward to big action with a whole bunch of classes about to get out there on 4 kilometers of racetrack. We're running in the anti-clockwise direction for the first part of the year, as always, and there are 13 turns to negotiate. Great weather conditions so far, but as you can see, a 90% chance of some rain later on. And if that wind picks up a bit more, we're certainly going to get it. Dave's down in the pits to catch up with a new sponsor, Dunlop.
What's great in motorsport, Greg, is that we've got all the people that are involved in motoring in general, in the industry, getting involved in motorsport in South Africa. It's a big, big step forward. And one of the stalwarts of that is Dunlop South Africa. You guys are always being involved here, and it's great to see you back at the track.
Absolutely. I think thanks again for the opportunity to represent alongside South Africa's most premium racing series that we've got going on right now. So I think from our perspective as a tyre manufacturer, what it really means for us is, if our tyres are good enough to be on these cars, then they're good enough for the everyday consumer. So this is really a proving ground for us and a bold statement for us to make, to say, listen, Dunlop tyres are as good as we say they are. So that's really why we invest, and that's really why we support the series that we do.
Great to have Dunlop on board, and we'll see them in action in a few minutes' time. But first of all, we head off into the INEX Legends, and LiquiMoly are their sponsors. We're looking forward to action now from heats 2 and 3 here from Red Star. A small field, but a competitive field. We've got the reigning champion, Jagger Robertson, and the youngest driver of this series to win a championship in the mix there in the yellow LiquiMoly and Big Boss car. But watch out at the front end as his dad, Justin, tries to get the whole shot. At the back, it's Joseph Kotze alongside Johan van der Venter in the AutoZone car. Lights go out and we go racing. It's a rolling start as always in INEX Legends, and down into turn 1 it's going to be a very, very close. Great start coming out of Gerard Roux. Lonica Martins though getting straight in there as well, and the young lady is taking along Jagger Robertson for the ride as they go through that chicane for the very first time. Running a little bit wide though, and Lonica's just lost a little bit of ground coming out of that turn. It must have been a bit of a hot lap in there, and unfortunately just got it all wrong. She manages to get alongside and comes up there with looks like the 27 car of Ian Upton. Leading things out though, it's Robertson and Robertson, Roux and Roux. That's a great start to this one as they come down on the breakers, down into the bottom left. Oh, Jagger Robertson squeezes through, and so does the 23 car of Charles Roux. Charles Roux just finding a way past Justin Robertson, the whole shot man, and looks like he's going to have to now do some work from third place. He comes straight back onto the back end, and you can see the coupe there working on the woody option of these cars. They run 1100cc Yamaha engines in them, and you can see just how hard they're going to push these cars to their limits. This is a purpose-built motorcycle track, so with a motorcycle engine, these things will have great turn of pace around here, and they always put on a great show. Good recovery there from Lonica Martins as she pulls in right behind Richard van Heerden. The battle there is the Masters in looking at 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. Then you've got the young lady who's coming in there as well, Lonica Martins, looking to do semi-pro. And right at the front end, last year's champion, Jagger Robertson. And he's dominating from the word go, as he did in the last few heats of the last rounds. Oh, and his dad runs wide. Justin just gets a little bit wrong going into, what is that? That's normally turn 5 the other way around, so it's about turn 8 going this way. And a nice one, turn 9 as they go through there. Lovely stuff. Good recovery from him as well, but he's now got to fight through 4 Masters before he can get to his son. The Rubro building cars are coming through there thick and fast, and the 2 Roo boys are looking to close things down now on Jagger Robertson, now that he's lost the assistance of Dad. The 2 Roos are going to try and work together, get away from Van Heerden, and just behind them is Upton. Upton's made up a lot of ground there. This time out though, it looks like Gerard Roux looks like he is a little bit quicker, and I'm not quite sure if Charles going to be able to keep him out. Oh, we see some cones flying. They've got to be very careful on that. You can't run too wide there, otherwise you will get into trouble. Those cones are out for a reason. Here comes a move on the inside from Gerard. He dives on the inside and finds a way. Charles gives up the space, just gives him enough room to play as they go into the chicane. Nice bit of driving from the 2 of these guys, and of course working together now, they're going to have the ability to slipstream. And of course with this category, remember, you are allowed to bump draft as well, so you can literally get right onto the bumper and use the car in front of you. Looks like there's a problem though on one of the Roux cars. He slowed up dramatically coming out of that chicane, and there's Van Heerden through. So Van Heerden just found a way past. Bit of an issue there for the 23 of Charles, and Charles Roux just falls back into Van Heerden and now into the 27 car of Upton's clutches as well. So it hasn't gone according to plan there for him. He just must have missed a gear or something coming out of that chicane. It's allowed his brother to get away, but this is going to make a massive maneuver now for Van Heerden. He's up to 3rd, and I don't think he's going to give that up that easily. He's being helped out big time by Upton's pressure onto the back end of the 23 car. So there's certainly not a lot in it here between the 3 of them. And here comes Robertson. Oh, Justin Robertson has recovered nicely, and he's not too far off that 2nd blue car. So it's the 27 and 23 fighting as they come out of the dog bone and up onto the shelf. But right on their tail is the LiquiMoly and Big Boss Auto car there of Justin Robertson. Jagger dominating at the front, and he's pulled about 1.5 seconds now ahead of the rest of this pack. And I don't know if Gerard Drew's got an answer to that. They've really worked hard. There was a bit of an issue in the first race. They had to change his engine, so he's got the spare engine in that car, and now trying to sort things out there with that spare engine. It doesn't look like it's affected him whatsoever. Good move from Upton. Through the triple right-hander, he just dives on the inside. Further back, the 8 car all on his own. Johan van der Venter. Looks like Josef Kotze has unfortunately gone missing. So a little bit of an issue there for him, but he's now all on his own there with the Big Boss and AutoZone car. Checkered flag on the back of that car. We come into the checkered flag, and Jagger Robertson's done it all right, Jeff. Heat number 2. He comes across the line, and the second victory of the day is going to go his way. Great drive from the youngster, starting things off where he ended off last year, where he took the championship as the youngest driver in this category and followed on what his dad has done and what his uncle Devin did too. Robertson taking the win there ahead of Roux and Van Heerden. Ian Upton eventually kept Charles Roux out for 4 and 5. Then it was Justin Robertson who finished up in 6th place, and Dave is down in the pits to catch up with Jagger Robertson after some fantastic racing.
No, you're right, Greg. What incredible racing from these legends. LiquiMoly as a sponsor are going to be over the moon with that, and Big Boss Auto, of course, I can see why they're involved. Jagger Robertson, you got out there and you held on to it. A lot of pressure though coming from behind.
Yeah, no, coming from 5th on the start, we had a very nice start. I think we came into the bottom in 4th. Down into the bottom of the straight, we had taken the lead of the race. And from there, we just kept our head down and kept on going. And near the end, just started making sure we could nurse it home. So the race went 100%.
Join us after the break for some more action from Red Star Raceway and the Extreme Festival. Welcome back to action from the Extreme Festival of Motorsport here at Red Star Raceway. And out on track, a couple of spillages. It means that there's a little bit of a cleanup. The marshal's doing a great job, but I wonder where Dave is. Can he hear me, in fact?
Well, Greg, I hope you can hear me above the noise of the huge generator that runs this whole place, because obviously power has got to be stable in this type of thing. But behind me you can see is the swimming pool. Great family affair here. It's not that hot at the moment, but come a bit later on, everybody's going to be back in that swimming pool. We've got a model shoot going on over there as well. And in the background, trampolines for the kids to pass the time of day. Because when you're racing, you don't really want your kids stuck around the pits. That's what's great about this Red Star Raceway. And of course the Extreme Festival, that it is a family event. Back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Dave. Yes, it's an incredible facility. And some more incredible racing to come now. Lonica Martin's on the front row alongside Van der Venter. Right behind are the 2 blue cars of Upton and Robertson. Robertson alongside Roux. The back end once again is Josef Kotze. And look out for Van Heerden. Richard Van Heerden finished up 3rd in the first one, remember. He's now going to try and come through, possibly go a little bit higher up now as we get into race number 2 proper. Down towards turn 1. This is the only class that you'll actually see in racing where 5 cars can go into turn 1 side by side. And look at that. They are literally side by side, eventually slotting in. And Van der Venter got a great start, but Robertson got a much better start. He just squeezed out Van der Venter. Upton and Roux go side by side, and a little bit of a wide run there from Jagger Robertson, who now goes alongside the 23 car of Charles Roux. So it's Charles Roux and Jagger Robertson side by side now down the big straightaway, the highway, as we like to call it here. But it's his dad, Justin, who's now made a good recovery after that first incident in turn number 9 in race 2. But he gets it all right now. Side by side with Lonica Martins is not an easy thing to do. Lonica, lots of experience when it comes to racing cars. She's been out of this series for a little while, racing in the big V8 series, of course, with Mobil 1 as their sponsor. But also watch out for her in oval track. Her and her brother are doing big things in the oval track. And you can see just how hard she's pushing there. Running a bit of a campaign for some cancer as well, which is great to see. Further back, it's Van Heerden putting the pressure back onto Upton. This time, those roles are reversed. Upton's got to find a way to keep out Van Heerden, and Van Heerden's got to find a way to get past. They come out of the dog bone now with Gerard Roux right on their tail. Just behind that, losing a little bit of ground. We go on board here with Ian Upton. This is the number 27 car, all over that CFRE racing machine, just ahead of him of Roux. And CFRE, of course, normally a campaigner in this one, but now looking after the 2 Roux boys. And there's the pressure. That's exactly what you can get. Into the hairpin, you just apply that pressure, and the driver in front of you runs wide, opens up the door, and 2 cars get through. Upton goes along with Van Heerden and gets past Roux. So Roux losing out big time there. Jagger Robertson looks like he's found a way past Dad and got to the front. Now he's got his dad running tail gunner for him. And I don't think anybody's going to get anywhere close to those LiquiMoly and Big Boss cars. Oh, Upton spins out. Loops it out, just climbs on the loud pedal, and probably the wrong gear coming out of that triple right hand at turn 9. But he eventually gets it sorted. Oh, that was close. Very lucky to be avoided by the cars just behind him, because it was literally 2 cars right on his tail. Lonica Martin's now trying to find a way back through on the 23 there of Charles Roux. Gerard Roux leads out on Van Heerden. Then it's Charles and Lonica. 4 cars fighting for what is possibly going to be 4th place on track. possibly even third if they can make their way up. Yes, they've got up into third place. So it's a third-way battle, 4 cars involved. And at this point, any one of those 4 can take it. Remember, we've got 4 masters involved there. So Justin Robertson currently sitting in second, Roo in third, Van Heerden in fourth, and second of the Roo cars in fifth. Then Lonica Martin's behind. Here's our LiquiMoly replay of Ian Upton coming out of turn 9. Just in the wrong gear. You hear it over rev. He gets onto the grass. And 1, 2, 3 cars get past him. He comes back on the grass and gets back onto the black stuff, but now loses out a huge amount of ground. I don't think he'll make that ground up. At the back, here's a change up. Oh, nice to see Josef Kotzer just finding a way through there on the AutoZone car of Johan van der Venter. So a bit of a battle for 8th and 9th place still to be sorted out too, with a couple of laps to go in this one. And looks like van der Venter's got to have a bit of work here, because the Woody in front of him is going really well compared to what it did in the first 2 heats. And Kotzer's found some late race pace here in the third and final heat of the LiquiMoly INEX Legends. Back to the front, and it's Jagger Robertson and Justin Robinson formation flying with about half a lap to go. As they're coming through here, it's LiquiMoly and Big Boss Auto, 1 and 2, with a huge advantage over Gerard Roo. Roo has also got a decent enough gap there, I think, to keep out the attack coming from Van Heerden and his brother. But family affairs here, big time, with these two coming into the closing stages. Oh, there's still some pressure though from Van Heerden. I thought he might have dropped back slightly, but he's not. He's still right in the mix there, and still looking for a chance for that 3rd place on the podium. So Jagger Robertson just ahead there of Justin Robertson, and the 2 of them now going to go across the line, probably going to be side by side. Hope there's a cameraman waiting for that one. Our cameraman's going to get it, that's for sure. As it comes to the line, it's Jagger versus Justin, and Justin's going to let the youngster take the victory. He'll take the win in the Masters though for 2nd place overall, remember. Great drive from him as he comes across the line, and in the background, Van Heerden pushed it to the line but just couldn't find a way through on Gerard Roo. Very close between the 2nd and 3rd place Masters there in the INEX Legends. Another bit of great racing coming out of them with Robertson the top 2 ahead of Gerard Roo and Van Heerden. Charles Roo ahead of Ian Upton, Kotzer, Van der Venter and Lonica Martins. And Dave's down in the pits to catch up with one of our top masters.
Well, Greg, you called it Richard Van Heerden. You came in 3rd in your class, 4th overall. Probably quite chuffed with that then.
Oh no, very chuffed. Red Star's normally a bit of a bogey track for me, and I normally battle here, so that's my best performance here in a long time. So I'm all smiles.
You're still paying your car off though with Westbank, aren't you?
Yes, actually Absa Bank, yeah.
You're paying it off with Absa Bank, okay. I saw you behind the camera pulling faces here, but what sort of day have you had actually?
Lovely day out racing. I must say, some clean racing. Good fun. Back in the pits was crazy nice, and yeah, enjoyed it thoroughly.